sports. It's in the game.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Just a spectacular setting here in the Pacific Northwest. We're at Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, it's almost like a nature walk out there. It's built amongst these wonderful sand dunes. As far as trees are concerned, there's only one really that comes into play. The rest are all in the distance, so you feel very much at one with the elements. It's kind of nice, actually, just going for a little stroll out there like that. Refreshing.
Down to the first tee now to get the round going, and a stout par 4, Frank.
Yeah, straight out of the gates. The wind obviously very important here. If you were to play it into a head breeze, this would be just a mammoth hole, just under 500 yards. Fortunately, with a little prevailing breeze, though, it'll shorten up considerably, but will bring that bunker on the right in play. Oh, it's perfect. That is a huge opening tee shot.
Now the approach here at hole number 1, and Frank, what are we looking at?
Well, semi-blind, but it's fine. You know, just a little peek and you can see what's in front of you. Really no bunkers down the left side. If you do miss down there, a little chip back up the hill, but it's a big enough green.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
So a tester from 4 feet. One under early in the round. Now to the second hole here at Chambers Bay, and Frank, it is not overly long. Where's the trouble here?
Well, 281 yards really to the big long bunker that goes all the way to the green. So as long as you can avoid that, you don't have to hit driver down here, just something that's going to be a little short of that. You're still only going to have 100 yards really, or just over 100 yards in for your second shot. A really good chance too to get off to a good start.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Frank going for 2 in a row now. How about this? Birdies at 1 and 2. We could be in for something pretty special today. At the third tee now, Frank, and what are we staring at here?
This green is anything other than symmetrical, so be very, very cautious on where the flag is. Anything in the middle of the green you can putt to the corners. Well, if you can call them corners, more like ragtails, but beautiful par 3.
Stuck the follow through right there. This could be really good. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. These putts keep the round together. Well done. Another birdie, and now 3 under par. Frank, standing here on the 4th tee at Chambers Bay, you can see what this golf course is all about with those dunes on the left and all that sand down on the right. A lot of trouble here.
Yeah, first hole, Rich, really that bends to the right, but if anything, you want to keep the tee shot down the left side. It's going to give you a better angle to the green. And unlike the 2 previous holes, this fairway slopes to the other direction, to the right.
Well, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. in the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
And he's made it onto the green. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. 3 under on the day. Well, Frank, here at the 5th, and I'm not sure about my chances at a hole that's called free fall. I mean, are you kidding?
Well, should be free fall for you, that's for sure, and free fall for a lot of people playing it today. Hole looks straight away, but you'll see it starts to pinch in, that fairway that is, by bunkers left and right, and those bunkers come in exactly where you're trying to hit your tee shot. Can we get a measure on that one? It's enormous.
Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot. Good looking shot right here. On the green in regulation. Now a 7-footer. Nicely holed. 4th birdie of the day. Ready to tee off here at the 6th. Frank, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee here?
Well, as long as it's not in the rough, the bunkers, well, there's no trees here, really. That little green strip, that runway down there, another hole that bends to the right, but find the fairway. The fairway's wide enough. You've got a pretty good idea exactly where you want to go. And once again, this is one of the shorter par 4s. So good drive here, just a short iron in.
What a tremendous display of power and precision. Getting set for another approach, our featured golfer really looks dialed in at this point.
Yeah, right now, this is a great feeling to have as a golfer. Your swing's good, the timing, it's almost like it's just completely natural. You don't have to think. The swing is exactly where you want it to be. So really, you're just looking at the flag in front of you.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. On the 7th tee now, it is over 500 yards from the back tee.
Yeah, this is called humpback, and you can see why. There's all those mounds and undulations between you and the hole, plus all that amazing bunkering down the right side. All to be avoided, really. If you can do that, then you get a decent look at this green. But yeah, you've mentioned it, 500 plus yards. It's going to play longer than that uphill.
315. Now the approach shot here at the 7th, Frank, and this one is up the hill.
It is, and the green is sort of split into thirds. There's a little piece back left, there's a piece back right, and that bigger portion in the front. So once again, you've got to choose what shot am I trying to hit, and do I have the right club?
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Little uphill to this green, Frank. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. It's a very makeable putt here. He is currently 5 under for his round. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realise that's a fairly generous fairway. There's a little bit of mounding in this green, too, that actually slopes it back towards the player. So use that to your advantage.
Great lie, and what a great shot. He has really hit it a long way. Now the second shot to the par 5.
Not too bad. It's about 23 feet away.
He didn't hit the flagstick, but he still has a chance. This is a 23-foot putt.
Had every chance of going in.
Locked in on the read and the speed. That's birdie, and that's just another example of how everything seems to be clicking today, especially on the greens.
Yeah, good green reading too. You've got to take your hat off to that. The line has been perfect and the pace has matched it.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. So stays at 6 under with that solid par putt. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
That's a pleasure to watch. Just an ideal-looking golf swing. Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
Really? This is an awkward length.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Just a couple of feet. And that's in for a par. Getting set to tee off at the 11th hole, long par 4, 537 yards. Frank, how do you play this hole, with a bazooka?
Yeah, try and take that dune out of play, that's for sure, in the middle of the fairway. Bunkers down the left are more for scenic rather than, they're not really problematic for the player off the tee. Just, as I said, hit it over that dune, and then really there's a ridge in the middle of this green, so you've got to be on the right level.
Wow, he moved that a long ways right in the fairway. The 11th hole, Frank, what's the right way to get at it?
Just got to be cognizant of that ridge that cuts through the middle of this green, that sort of turns this green into one simple green and all these little complex sort of sections. That's the biggest thing, but that's also, you realize very, very quickly, you're playing links golf today.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. This would give him the par. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. The 12th here at Chambers Bay is known as the Narrows. What's the play here, Frank?
Two, really. You could just sort of iron it down there, have a little wedge or a pitch in there with no sweat whatsoever. Or, if you want to have a little bit of fun, if you can drive it over that bunker that's just short left of this green, you might just putt for an eagle.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him. It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
So just a formality here. Did the job right there. Now at the 13th hole here at Chambers Bay, and Frank, this one bends to the right, par 4.
It doesn't mean that you have to cut it or move the ball in that direction. Ideally, really, anything down the left side of the fairway would be well suited for this hole. There is a central bunker that sort of protects the front middle of this green. You can go in left of that or right of that, but this is a beefy par 4. 4 on the card, and you are not losing ground.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Frank, what's the best way to get at the 13th here?
Avoid those ridges left and right, or the mounds, should I say. That bunker that's well placed in the front of the green, obviously you've got to carry that, but this one you've really got to keep it in line with the middle of the green.
Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. And getting ready for the putt. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Frank, this is the 5th par 4 in a row, and they're not easy. This one here at 14, really a daunting tee shot.
It is. That's why it's called Cape Fair. A true Cape hole in golf, Rich, is when you've got to decide how much you want to bite off when you hit across a slight dogleg. And this one, really, you're going to be rewarded the further left you can go. There is one little bunker in the middle of the fairway that you have to avoid. That's going to be 320 or so yards off the tee. This hole, 546 yards, you're going to see a variety of second shots, or the length of second shots here, determined purely by the bravery of the tee shot.
Frank, what do you want to do with the approach here at the 14th?
Just use that, the mounding that's sort of supplied there in front of you, the right side of the screen, maybe kick it towards it. There is a, sort of runoff area to the left, but then all of a sudden you're in the sand. So keep the ball slightly right of center.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th.
It's that sneaky distance.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Rory McILROY looking to take advantage with this putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, normally in a golf course, you don't want to spend too much time in the trees, with the trees, around the trees, but part of me wants to go up and hug this tree because he's all alone. It's the only tree on the whole golf course.
Well, I know you're a tree hugger, Rich, I really do. But at 246 yards, when they play this off the back tee at the US Open, believe me, nobody's hugging that tree. They're just trying to make three.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Up to the 15th green, but looking at a tough putt, considerably long, over 25 feet away. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
He has this for par. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Getting set to take on the finishing holes here at Chambers Bay. How do you do it in the right way, Frank?
Well, when you look down this fairway, obviously everything slopes left to right. That makes this hole actually play a little bit more of a dogleg to the right, even though it doesn't look it. And then, of course, that green up ahead, it's like a tabletop. So precision here is absolutely paramount.
Wow, Frank, look at that one. How it just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
Frank, what's the danger here on the approach to the 16th, considering the green is really pretty small?
Well, obviously it's a short par four, so you know that the problem's going to happen up ahead, and that's exactly what it does. This is probably one of the smallest, narrowest greens at Chambers Bay, and you can see it slopes dramatically from left to right. That has to be taken into consideration with the second shot.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Oh, I thought he had that. He's going to beat himself up on the way to the next tee. You don't miss those putts. Good round going, -7. Just 2 holes left to play. Now a par 3, the 17th, 218 yards, and all sorts of trouble, Frank, down that right.
Well, if you weren't beached at the 16th, then there's a chance you can be derailed, which is what this hole's called, at 17. Difficult par 3, you can see the bunker there in front, and once again, wind conditions. This is going to probably require one of the best tee shots, especially in the closing stages of the US Open.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. He's made it. Frank, you don't need just a caddy out here at Chambers Bay. Seems like you need a sports psychologist. You start thinking about the names of these holes. Beached at 16, and what's 17 called?
Derailed, and you can see why too. That green's perched up there. If you've got the round going in the wrong direction, this is not a hole to start on. So If you've got a run going, it's just a good tee shot that lands around the front there, and you just take a 3 here. This is not a time to be a hero.
Great lie. What a great shot. He has really hit it a long way. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Well on the green, but far from the hole.
Yeah, a little bit of a head scratcher. A lot of work coming up here.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Settles in over the putt. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
So they'll tap in, and he makes it for par. Frank, just some great golf here today.
Yeah, that's a round to remember. Not often you play that well and you feel like you were head and shoulders above the rest of the field.
What a thrill to watch. And for Frank Nobilo and our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now.